Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're doing something completely different. I don't think I've done it before. I've checked my videos, I don't think I've done it before. I've done my favourite kills from this franchise. I haven't done my favourite character, I don't think, from this franchise. So yeah, it involves, I'll give you a quick clue, it involves this guy. This is the franchise I'm talking about. And I'm going to do my favourite character from each Friday the 13th film. It's going to be completely different. It's the video I made, the notes I marked up ages ago. And I've been back to the script. So, by the way, that's why I'm doing videos I've done marked up ages ago. So, yeah. Like I say, so basically, I'm doing my favourite character in each Friday the 13th film. There'll be a lot of these videos coming out. For other franchises like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Hatchet, Saw, stuff like that. But yeah, I'll be doing a lot of more videos. This is a new series coming out. So I thought I'd trial it. By the way, I will go back to my anime series I started. My favourite horror film from, I'm going to refilm that video because obviously at the moment I can't get that video back because it's lost. So I'm going to refilm that video. That video will come out sometime next week, along with the 2010 video, my favourite horror film 2010. So yeah, them videos, that series will continue at some point next week. But yeah, excuse me. One caveat for this, I will only be using the character once. Yeah. So for example, let's say there's a character called Bob in Friday the 13th, the video Friday the 13th from 1980, and he appears in Friday the 13th Part 7. I can't use that character Bob, you know what I mean? If it's got the same name, different character but the same name, that's totally fine. But if the character Bob played by, let's say there's a character called Bob played by George Clooney, for example, and that character Bob appears in Part 7, played by George Clooney, I can't use that, that character. Obviously, there's no character called Bob and George Clooney and never been in a Friday the 13th film, so I'm using that as an example, basically. If you get the idea, yeah. There's 12 films in the Friday the 13th franchise. I did consider using, fan films in this franchise, this is a series. Maybe I can do that as a mini bonus series, who knows? Speaking of which, I'll be doing more Friday the 13th fan film reviews very soon. I started doing them in October last year. I just forgot, finish that series off, basically. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? In Friday the 13th, in the original Friday the 13th from 1980, I will go for Alice Hardy, played by Adrian King. She's such a badass. I love the character of Alice. She's the only one who did his voorhees with that famous scene. That scene. Yeah, I can't like the character about Adrian King as Alice Hardy. And she did appear for one first. Alice Hardy did revise the role for a fan film. I can't remember which one it was, but I'll put it on screen right now. It's this fan film. Can't remember what it's called right now, so I'll put it on screen right now. But yeah, so for Alice Hardy played by Adrian King. In Friday the 13th Part 2, so obviously Alice is out of the equation now, so you get the idea. I'm going to go for someone completely different to Alice. Jimmy Field, played by Amy Steele, who also appeared in a fan film. Again, I can't remember which fan film it was on, but it'll be on screen right now. I think it's the same one as Adrian King's. I think, if I remember rightly. There's so many Friday the 13th fan films out there. I like the character of Ginny, because, yeah, she's the one who, runs the camp with Paul Holt. Yeah. And, part two, she tricks Jason. With, presenting Mrs. Voorhees. And the fun story about that scene, if you've seen, these Comic Cons or panels, Steve Dash, who played Jason Voorhees in that scene, got a cut from Amy Steele when she Stuck went wrong or something like that. So he went to the A&E, Steve Dash, and he were in Jason Ross Jr. He had the machete in his shoulder, and he went up and he goes, "You got any aspirin?" You know, funny Steve Dash. Yeah, if you've seen some of these panels, rest in peace by the way, Steve Dash. Yeah. In 513 Part 3, I have to give it to. I have to go for the person who gave Jason his iconic mask like this. Who gave Jason his iconic mask. And that's the character for me, Shelley, played by Larry Zerner. Fun fact, Larry Zerner got the role when the 513 producers saw him working. If I got the story correctly. Yeah, fun fact there. In 513 final chapter, I can go for Corey Feldman, Tommy Jarvis, I can go for Trish, I even go for Christian Glover. But no, I'm going to go for the big man himself, the guy who wore this mask. I'm going to go for J-Man himself, Mr. Jason Voorhees, played by Ted White in this film. Again, I love behind the scenes stuff like this. Ted White said in an interview that he got the role. He wasn't interested in the role, you know, but he changed his mind after he needed the money, basically. So yeah, I like that. But he said he saw his friend of his who worked at the studio at the time. He said, "Hey Ted, I thought I heard you at your audition." Yeah, he goes, "I got the role of Jason," and they take it down. And his mate goes, "Why did you do that for? You get to spend a lot of money, basically." And he did. Again, Ted White, my second favourite actor to play the mask. In 513 for New Beginning, again, I'm not a fan of this one, but it has got a cult classic following. I can go for Pam, I can go for Tommy. I can even go for Ed. Is it Ed? The old one with the son, Junior, on the bike. I can even go for Vic. You know, the guy who killed Joey at the start of the film. Or I can go for Roy Burns, whoever that guy is. I mean, who's Roy Burns? Yeah, you know who Roy Burns is, but I'm not going for Roy Burns. I'm going to go for Reggie, played by Shavar Ross, just for that iconic scream. Oh, I love that iconic scream. Let's move on. Let's go for, in 513 Part 6, Jason Lives, my personal favourite 513 film, as I mentioned plenty of times. I just love this film. You can go for the sheriff, you can go for the deputy, you can go for even some of the kids at the camp, some of the sarcastic kids at the camp. You can go for anybody even, but for me, I'm going for Tommy Jarvis. The only guy that defeated Jason twice, in Part 4 and Part 6. He's played by Tom Matthews, who also revised his role in the 513 fan film. And I do know the name of this one, Never Hike Alone. He also played in one more other 513 fan film. I can't remember what that one was. He played Never Hike Alone and Never Hike in the Snow and Never Hike Alone 2. But he also played in one other one. I can't remember what that one was. That's off my head. Again, it'll be on screen right now. Yeah. In 513 Part 7, The New Blood. Again, I can't go for Jason, played by Kane Hodder. My favourite one to wear the mask. I can go for Dr. Cruz, but I'm not going for Dr. Cruz because he's one of the worst characters. And that'll be in a future video. So I will look for a future video. Yeah. You can go for anybody really. But I'm going to go for Tina, played by Lara Park Lincoln, who sadly passed away recently. So rest in peace to Lara Park Lincoln. Lara Park Lincoln did reprise a role in a 513 fan film called Roseblood. I highly recommend you check out Roseblood on YouTube, because it is a good 513 fan film. In 513 Part 8, Jason takes Martin, aka Jason takes a cruise. Because this film spends half that film on a freaking boat. Yeah. I can go for Mr. McCullough, the teacher. I can go for Remy. I can even go for Remy's boyfriend. I can't remember his name. But I'll go for Julius, the boxer. He's the guy who punches Jason at the end. Gets tired out. And I'm from, yeah. Played by V.C. Dupree. Yeah. I do like his character. Like I say, he's one of the best things about the film. Because I will admit, Jason Martin, it is a poor film. It is a crap film. But the three iconic scenes in that film, Julius boxing Jason in Manhattan, Kane Hodder wearing the iconic costume in actual Times Square, and again the credits. Yeah. I did that one, deliberately. You know what I mean? If you've seen Jason Martin, you know what I mean? But yeah. Let's go on to another wacky franchise, film in the franchise. We're going to go for Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday. You can go for Creighton Duke. Again, Creighton Duke, the character Creighton Duke paid in Roseblood. Can't like that. You can go for Laurie, is that her name? No, Jessica. You can go for the cook. Well, I'm going for Stephen Badman Freeman, played by John D. Lemire. I like the character. I like his friendship with the cop Randy. Is that name? Is his name? Yeah. What I didn't like about this film is the character of Jason talking. I've never seen Jason talk in his life. Because he's transferring bodies. Fun fact, the character of Stephen was supposed to be Tommy Jarvis, the character of Tommy Jarvis. And I think, if I remember rightly, Tom Matthews was supposed to revise his role for this film. But because New Line Cinema, who took over the franchise at this point, because apparently we're going after part 8, New Line Cinema didn't have the rights to the character of Tommy Jarvis. Or the name Friday the 13th, for that example. That's why some of the New Line Jason films are completely so. Yeah, that's why it's called Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah, fun fact there. In Jason X, I will go for Sergeant Broski. What badass he is. It's the guy at the end of the film where they're trying to escape the ship. I can't remember what the ship's called, where they're trying to escape. Jason, shall we say, comes after him, and he's that close to go for him. But then Broski stops him at the end, press the button, and they have this big face off. And Sergeant Broski sacrifices his life to save Rowan. Is it KM? And I can't remember the guy's name at the end. Again, I'll put it on screen there. But yeah. In Freddy vs. Jason, next. Two more after this one. We've got Freddy vs. Jason and the remake to come. Freddy vs. Jason. There's some characters I don't like. There's some characters are okay. Some characters are meh. Again, I can't go for Jason, because I already picked him for part 4. I cannot go for Freddy either, because that's, again, for 2 reasons. A, that's a cop-out, and B, it'll stop me from going for Freddy in the future Nightmare on Elm Street franchise film. But the character I'm looking for is Wilson Mark, who escaped the Western Hills. I call that continuation of that story, the Clayton still, which was mentioned in 513 Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Yeah, but Wilson Mark. He's the one who knows much about. He's got knowledge of Freddy, basically, and I think he's a cool character. And that brings us to the last one, in 513th, the remake from 2009. I'm just gonna go out with it. I'll go for Jenna, played by Danielle Panabaker. Jenna's a cool character. She's friendly, helpful, and helps, what's he called? Oh, Whitney's brother. Clay, is it Clay? Clay Miller? Yeah, Clay. Helps him try to find a sister. And this Jason, in this film, is a brood. So, played by Derek Mears in this one. But yeah, I will give out one more mentioned in this franchise. But it's James Knight Garris from Part 15, Part 6, and Megan from Part 6. Crispin Glover plays Jimmy, the famous, "Hey Ted, where's the corkscrew scene?" You know, that scene. And Mrs. Voorhees herself, played by Betsy Palmer from the original Friday the 13th. They were so close to coming on my list. So that's it, that's my favourite characters from Friday the 13th, from each Friday the 13th film. What do you think? Comment down below. Do you agree or disagree with my choices? Do you think there's someone better in the franchise? But comment down below. In the future, I will do my worst characters in the Friday the 13th franchise. But until then, the next video I'm going to do is another one of these maybe. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It's either a film review, a ranking video, or another one of these. Comment down below. What do you think it's going to be? A lot of fun game. I know what it's going to be. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. But until then, my name's Ian Bellows, and I'll see you very, very soon for another video. Goodbye.